All right, today we are going to tackle a skill that is absolutely essential for anyone who wants to lead, grow, or, just avoid burning out. Delegation. And look, it sounds so simple, right? But actually mastering it, that's a true art form, and we're going to break it all down.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. Can one person really do it all? I mean, if you've ever felt like your to-do list is this monster that just keeps growing, then you already know the answer. It's a big no.
You know that feeling of being completely swamped? It actually has a name. It's the manager's capacity problem. See, as a team or a company starts to grow, a manager's responsibilities just explode, until it becomes literally impossible for one person to handle everything.
And let's be super clear about this. Not being able to do everything isn't some kind of personal weakness. It's a logistical impossibility. The real measure of success as a manager isn't about how much you can get done. It's about how effectively you can multiply your own impact through your team. That's the game changer.
So if you can't do it all, what's the answer? Well, it's delegation. But hold on, this isn't just about, casually tossing tasks to someone else. It's a real formal process with 3 very specific steps to make sure it's actually done right.
Okay, let's really dig into this definition for a second. Look at those key words: entrustment, authority, and accountability. This is so much more than just saying, hey, can you do this for me? It's a structured, formal transfer of a piece of your role. You're not just giving someone a task, you're entrusting them with it, giving them the power to get it done, and making them responsible for the result. Big difference.
And here's the thing. For delegation to actually work, all 3 of these pieces have to be there, no exceptions. First, you assign the task with absolute clarity. What exactly needs to be done? Second, you have to confer authority. I mean, you can't ask someone to go open a new office without giving them a budget or the power to make some decisions, right? And third, you create accountability. The person now owns the outcome. It's a complete closed loop.
Okay, so if the process is that straightforward on paper, why do so many managers find it so hard? Well, it's because delegation isn't just some cold management technique. It's a deeply human thing, and it's absolutely packed with some very real, very human psychological barriers.
So what's really getting in the way? It turns out this whole reluctance thing, it's a two-way street. There are fears and insecurities on both sides of the table, from the manager and from the employee.
You can totally see the push and pull, right? On one side, you've got managers worrying their team isn't quite ready, or they're afraid of losing control, or maybe they just have that classic thought, it's just faster if I do it myself. Then, on the other side, you have employees who might be scared of getting criticized if they make a mistake, or they feel like they haven't been given the right info or tools to actually succeed. The real key here is finding that middle ground. For managers, it's about delegating the outcome, not micromanaging the process. And for employees, it's about asking those clarifying questions right up front to build confidence on both sides.
Okay, so far we've been looking at delegation on a micro level, right, as this action between 2 people. But what happens when this idea goes big? What happens when it becomes the core philosophy for an entire company?
This is exactly where we zoom out. When delegation stops being just a one-off action and becomes systematic, widespread, it evolves into something way bigger, way more strategic. It actually becomes a core philosophy for how the entire company is built and how decisions get made.
And that philosophy has a name. It's called decentralization. The goal here is actually pretty simple. Push the decision-making power down to the people who are closest to the action. You can think of it as the ultimate endgame of consistent, company-wide delegation.
So let's make sure we're super clear on the difference here. Delegation is a process. It's a necessary tool for any manager. Decentralization, on the other hand, is a philosophy. It's an optional, strategic choice for the whole organization. Here's the bottom line. You have to delegate to be a good manager, but a company chooses to decentralize, and that choice is usually driven by growth and complexity.
But, and this is really important, this isn't an all-or-nothing game. It's not about choosing one or the other. The real challenge, the art of it, for any organization is finding that perfect sweet spot, that blend of central control and decentralized freedom that works just for them.
And look, the benefits of getting this balance right are just massive. Your top executives, they're freed up to focus on the big picture stuff. The company can grow and branch out way more easily. Decisions get made faster, right at the point of action, by the people who know what's going on. And maybe, most importantly, it develops and motivates your future leaders by giving them real, meaningful responsibility. But of course, there's a flip side. There are definitely risks. Go too far with decentralization and you could lose control. Different parts of the company might feel totally disconnected. It can also get more expensive if different departments are duplicating the same work. And it can even stir up some internal competition and conflict. The truth is, some of those huge strategic decisions, we're talking major policy or big investments, they just have to be made from the center.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway. The most effective, most successful organizations, they don't chase the extremes. They find what this quote calls the golden mean. They master this incredible paradox, being centralized when it comes to core strategy, but totally decentralized in day-to-day execution.
So let's bring all of this right back down to you. It doesn't matter if you're leading a giant company or a team of two, the principles are exactly the same. So I want you to think about this. What is one task, just one responsibility, that you're holding on to a little too tightly right now? What's one thing you could delegate tomorrow? And not just to get it off your plate, but to genuinely empower someone on your team, and to free up your own focus for the work that really only you can do.